right, we're here with the creators from the film Gold Lust. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us. Introduce yourself
Hi.
and tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Ibai. I'm a director from Barcelona, and I studied cinema in the SCAC, the main cinema school, I think, in Catalonia, in Spain. And I for me it was very very important, like studying as well, like arts history, because I felt that I need to explore more some of the topics, and the first movie that I did, it was shot in United States. It's called the Girl from Top, and it was shot on Burning Man on the festival. And yeah, I mean, this is my second movie, and it's a western, so I'm happy to show it to all of you.
Hi, I'm Mireia Vilapuig. I'm an actress based in Barcelona. I'm also a producer and a director and a writer. And I'm here for this film that I'm just working as an actress in this film. And yeah, I don't know how to say. It's a pleasure being here.
That's the perfect way to say it. Okay, thank you. All right. So my first question is, what made you want to be a filmmaker?
I mean, for me, it was to be alone in my room and with a lot of stories in my head. And my grandmother um, gave me as a present a camera. So it was my only toy in that moment, and I started. I started to feel like it was my thing, and I tried to be an actor, but it didn't work. So I totally decided I have to be behind the camera.
Okay. And you?
I was in my theater class and someone knocked the door and I said like, and they say like, there is an audition for a film if you want to just like do it. And I was like, okay, just try. And then I did it, and it was nice. It was pretty nice. And they took me for a film, and it was like in my 11. I was 11 years old when I just I was in my first movie as an actress, and then I just like, started like working as an actress. It was crazy, but finally it works, and and yeah, it was like this.
And when did you decide you want to be the writer director? Because you said you're an actress, writer, director.
Yeah, that was like maybe 5 or 4 years ago. With my sister, we started just like to thinking about an idea that it was like a TV show, and we were like talking about our relationship and about us, and it was like nice to just like realize that maybe it could be a TV show. And we start just writing a pilot. So with this idea, we start just like to finding a producer company, and then we just like figure out to just like finally did it, like we finally made this TV show, and we realized this like last year, like in 2023.
So, okay, when you first said, I'm going to be a filmmaker, this is the both of you, what was your response from your family and friends? Did they sit there and go, oh no, not until after you graduate college and you have your degree? Or were they, yes, go for it, if it makes you happy? What was their response? How did that go?
For my part, it was more about just like, okay, just try to not get crazy a little bit at some point. But I have all my family and my friends support. Like, I think it's the best way just to tell stories, and just like, for me, it's a nice like way to create art, and and yeah, I think all of my like my people are around me, it's like doing art in that way, and they are actresses or actors, and also directors and filmmakers and wherever. So it was just a normal thing to do.
I mean, for me, it was a little bit more complicated because my father was from a old school, a worker. So he told me like not cinema, but maybe technology or something more about the formats and I insist a lot, and my mother was the one who gave me the chance, and she paid for the school, and she secretly paid for the school actually. Yeah.
Secretly, so you
Yeah.
couldn't tell dad?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my father didn't know until like a few years later. So yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so where you live, do you have a support group? In some ways, you answered this, but do you have a support group, a tribe of filmmakers, artists that's your go-to people, your tribe, people around you? Do you have that?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Here in Barcelona, like we are always doing like a partnership with our friends in the movie sector and the movie world. Yeah.
Okay, all right, all right. So what made you decide to make this movie? How did that happen? How did this movie come to life?
I mean, here in Spain, this is a famous novel or quite famous novel in Catalonia. So I decided to make it as a Western because the all the elements from the novel it makes me imagine about the train for the first time arriving to a small town and changing the way of the how the people was living in that town. And and because of my father, because he always watched a lot of Western movies and with John Ford movies, so it was something like hide deep inside of me that I wanted to do as well a Western. So we decided to make something more close to spaghetti Western, or how we call it here, butifarra Western, because it's a very typical Catalan dish, a Catalan food. So yeah, we try to do something like in between of our culture from the novel, but as well like with this imaginary that we have on our minds when we see a lot of movies.
When he came to you with the movie, what was your thought? Did you thought it was a great idea, or you just sort of went along?
I just like I did an audition, a long one, and then finally I get the role, and it was nice just for knowing that it was more like a leading role, that it wasn't new for me at that point. So then I just like I went to a bookstore and I bought the book. It was the first thing I did. So I wrote the novel, and then I just like figured out that it wasn't my character. It wasn't there. It wasn't not like in the original tale. So it was just like a nice challenge to just create this character with Ibai and also with Alex, because it was like kind of new and kind of like an important character, just as a poet, like this woman that has all this power and all this like all this story behind her.
What was the hardest part of making this movie, and what was the most fun part of making this movie?
The funniest thing, of course, it was more about the costume and the set design, I guess. Just to being like surrounded with all these things that make this film like with this such a personality. And I mean, it's a Western, and Westerns are always like nice. uh, and the hard thing, maybe it was like shooting the film in 21 days. I guess that would be also
Yeah.
yours.
That's tight.
Well,
um,
it will be my answer as well, but yeah.
yeah, that could be the bad thing, I guess, because rushing, it's not funny and it's not worth yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with the answer of Mireia that the worst part it was shooting in 21 days. That it was I mean like as well with the budget that it was not so big for a Western movie, and it makes us to make a lot of decisions that it was hard to take sometimes.
Okay. So are you the type of filmmaker that you make your movie and you put it out there into the world? Are you the type of filmmaker that says, okay, that baby's gone. It's out there, whatever it is, and it's gone. Or are you the kind of filmmaker that sits there and looks at your old movies, your old work, and go, someday I'm going to make enough money and I'm going to redo that and do it right. Which way are you?
I think we both are the first one, no?
First one?
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, you made something and then you just like realize that it's done and it's not yours. It's for the audience, and the audience is like, take it or leave it, you know, just like, and yeah, that makes the cinema something special, I guess. If you want to just like keep it and just like, I mean, it's something like it's moving all the time. It's something like it's not for ever, you know. It's just like it's a project that ends at some point and you start something different.
Yeah, I just want to add that for me, it's more like every movie should be like an adventure. So you don't want to repeat the same adventure twice. So it's about like a living the storytelling, and that's at present moment. So you don't want to repeat the same emotions and the same things. So you always keep looking for the next thing.
Okay. My next question, first I have to ask, do you consider yourself indie filmmakers, independent filmmakers?
It depends on the project, but I think it's quite as well. I mean, it's a similar answer from the before question that it depends on the vendor. I can put my shoes of the independent director and try to discover new language, or I can find a classic language to explore as well. I think for me, it's in between. I would say like every inventor, every movie should be their own language. So yeah, I think it's
All
would be
right,
the same.
so I asked that question because this is really my next question. In the indie film world, we all know we're not going to end up being like Taylor Swift, having private jets flying across the world to make it to football games with and so on and so forth. So how would you define success in the indie film world? What does success look and smell and taste like?
You always try to fit in the all the boxes that the people put. No, this is an indie movie. This is a, and I don't know if it's about the budget, about the heart you put on the project. But at the end, for me, it's the people that um, you want to show them, and it's not a big audience. It's more like a some small people that you know that for them it will be important to see that movie.
It's more about the process, but not about the the final thing that you get. I mean, it's more about working close to a nice team, nice people, just like being in a safe place, in a safe shooting, or that would be the success, not the having the all the nice feedbacks or nice. That would be, I mean, if you just work in a nice place and in a safe and I don't know, but that would be ended in a nice way, you know. I don't know if I'm just explaining myself, but
I think
that
so.
would be my success. Yeah.
Let's say a niece or a nephew come walking along and go, hi, I'm going to be a filmmaker just like you, auntie or uncle, just like you. What would you say? What would be your advice to them?
Maybe it would be like, you're not gonna be me, you're gonna be you at first, and that would makes you feel like special, you know, just being you and watching things as you just watch things, not like someone else or your more favorite filmmakers or whatever. It's you, it's the way that your gaze, you know.
But you would be supportive. You would say, go for it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And you, sir?
For me, it will be more to know if that person if it's doing that for because he or she is enjoying it, or just for the result. And I think it depends of the answer. I would say go for it or don't go for it.
So which way would you say if they were saying, I'm going to be a filmmaker because I love movies and and this is what I have to do, you would say go for it. If they said, well, I'm doing it because I want to become rich one day and I'm going to buy myself a big mansion someplace, you would say,
Change your profession, something like that.
Calm down.
okay. All right. That was my last question.
Okay.
Do you
Nice.
guys, have any final words, any words of wisdom to anybody who's watching us or anything?
I mean, just if they could enjoy the movie. I hope that they enjoy it. And well, yeah, it's a movie make it with a lot of love from Spain, Catalonia, and I think we did a western of classics, but with our idiosyncrasy.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to turn
You
off.
too. Nice interview.